All right. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Stan Kramer with Brian the Grizzly, Brandman Brandon, and we are about to talk season 2 of Bel-Air. Man, finally, after over a year, I think, about a year. Felt like forever. but
right.
But we finally get it back. And yeah, so we're gonna talk about that first episode. We only got one. We didn't get a whole season, or we didn't get two. We only got the first episode. But right off the bat, what do you think, Brian?
So I was watching it and I was enjoying. I'm glad they started with Will being back off, on his own, doing stupid stuff, being an idiot kid, and then you see him, the dude come and bring him money. I was like, this mother, he better not be selling drugs. I'll kill him. I'll kill him through the TV screen. Right now, I want to choke slam him, and then you find out that he's hustling basketball like he did back in Philly, which is like not the worst thing in the world. I mean, he'd been better at White Man Can't Jump than the guys we got right now. But I'm just saying, it's not the worst thing that you ever seen. And he was doing pretty well for himself. I'm glad he was helping out Jazz, breaking him off a little bit. But Jazz was telling him, dog, you got to get out of my couch. It's time for you to get up. Let's go. We got a glimpse into everybody's lives. How Carlton has kind of really turned the corner on it. I feel like what we're going to get in this whole season is a switch between Carlton and Will.
You said that at the end of last season too. That's what we're gonna get, and this definitely started it.
I was like, because Carlton's going to be the guy that you're going to enjoy more. You're going to be behind more. He's making this decisions, and you're understanding what he's dealing with more. And you're gonna look at Will like he's just an idiot, like he's a bad person and he's doing bad things. And then you're going to see them come back together. It's going to take Carlton being the antithesis of Will again to bring Will back to being what Will needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be very important.
Yeah.
But even though I haven't watched this, it kind of sounds very kind of almost Cobra Kai in terms of the dichotomy between Will and Carlton. Kind of comparable to the dichotomy of like Daniel and Johnny on Cobra Kai.
It's weird because Will and Carlton, as of right now, I mean, when you think about Carlton slips $100, a couple $100 in his pocket when he knew Will was going off on his own to make sure he had his back. Carlton's picking him up for school, taking care of, making sure he got his cousin and talking to him like, he's the only one that has sense in the house. So throughout the entire episode, you see Carlton really being the only one talking sense to Phil, talking sense to Will, kind of putting people back in their understanding who they need to be. And which is really good because I mean, you remember Tyler in season 1, you want to just kill Carlton. We're like, look, if he fell off the rooftop, I wouldn't care at all.
Yeah. What else saying too? Ready to punch Carlton.
Yeah. Carlton was just season 1. He is just like, you're like, screw this dude.
And I wonder if that's something that they heard from the fans and they're like, wait, hold on. Like, or if it was always a plan. Either way, I don't know. But like, it needed to be a little bit more like the Fresh Prince show where Carlton and Will became like brothers, became best friends, became very close.
Balanced everyone out, and that was the big thing. But it's kind of like what we said before with Carlton. Will makes him better, and Carlton said it in the episode. He was like, hang with you makes me cooler, brings me out, opens my eyes to some things, and that was cool. Like the fact that Will took him to the Black Union meeting, that was awesome. And Carlton, everyone was like, "Oh, Will's just like follow my lead." But Carlton has to be Carlton. But he said it the way he said it. I felt him. I understood what he was going with. Like he was like, hey, stop complaining. Let's do something about this. Let's come together. Let's be a strong voice, and let's do something about some of these complaints instead of just saying they're belly aching. Sometimes you need it, and that's a strong character to be able to do it. And if he follows that, this season's going to be something.
Yeah. Based on what I'm hearing, and even kind of going off of what I saw last season, the show does kind of do a good job at showing like the good, the bad, and like the gray area with these characters. makes them layered. You know, it making them that 3-dimensional. Like I said, even though I'm comparing it to the original source material, the original Fresh Prince. But that one did the same thing. It just took a primarily comedic route.
Yeah.
I like that this is kind of doing the opposite and taking a dramatic route with kind of some comedy here and there. It's really making the show work for me, and it's showing these characters as 3-dimensional and multi-layered, um, alongside to complement that dramatic tone that's in the forefront.
Yeah.
And then Big Four saying, I think it was the plan for us to hate Carlton at first, which because I mean, even in the Fresh Prince, you know, and like I said, like Brandon said, it's hard to not compare them, and sometimes you do, but they did that too. And I think just in general, it's like you can't put like two people from two different worlds, even if they're family, and now you guys are friends. You know, it's like no, they have to learn that each other are different and then learn the differences and not only accept it but like kind of be part of their differences, you know what I mean? Like, you know, now Will is with the was that the BSU kind of group, and he's trying to, but his whole reason of being there was for the girl, but I think it's gonna kind of mesh into
Will being Carlton's wingman and bringing
his Batman.
Carlton, his Batman, his wingman, bring Carlton there and letting Carlton shine. It's what it means to be a friend. You know, It's not just about bringing someone in, but allowing them to shine and putting the spotlight on them is important. You know, and you know, when it's time, and you can still be you. And that's what real friendship is. You know, I'm like, you be you, and when it's my time, you let me be me, and we can both shine together. And you know, that's something that you have to learn. One thing I did really want to touch on this episode was something, once again, Jeffrey, the voice of reason.
The man. He is the man.
Really fond of this version of Jeffrey in particular.
Oh, yes.
So when he first sees Will asks to see him. He comes to talk to Will, and he's telling him, yeah, both of us are out, but you're the only one. I'm the only one that has to be gone. You don't have to be gone. Why are you doing that? And he's like, man, I could talk to you. I talk to everybody else, but I can't talk to Uncle Phil. And he says, basically, a man isn't a man because he wants to be, because he's on his own. A man is a man because he does the hard thing because it's necessary. You do things that's hard, you step up and you face it head on. And I think that's just things that people need to hear. Understanding what it is to be between a male and a man, and having to stand up and do the hard thing no matter what it takes.
Yeah.
You know? So he is gangster. But in that, he's so cool, because then he goes to the house to tell, you know, Phil and Viv. And
he took his own advice.
And he
took his own advice
and said, I was wrong. I took my stuff, my son, and I clouded my judgment, and I was wrong. And I shouldn't have caused all this stress. And I'm apologizing. He manned up to the situation, and I gotta applaud him, even though Phil is still being a dickhead.
Yeah. He is. Even and Viv is like trying to be that in between person. It's like, oh yeah, you can come to the party. He's like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, yeah, understood. Like, yeah, you can't make it. You better not make it. You know? Yeah, it was kind of like the whole time. And Viv is staring at him like he's trying to say sorry, dumbass. You know, and he's just like too thick-headed, too stubborn to allow it.
Xavier, I love this version of Jeffrey so much. Me, I do too, man. He's the voice. He's like our voice. What the things that we're screaming at the TV and saying, he says. And he guides the character. He's like the watcher in Marvel. He's watching over everything and making sure everything is okay and watching their back.
But he still interfere. Yeah. I mean, for the record, I still think Jeffrey did the right thing. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't mean for bad things to happen, but also you can't hide things, especially when it comes to like something so big as that. Is like, here's your father, this and that. Like, that's a big thing, you know. And I think Will deserves a no. but also like Phil was right, because Phil knew what was going to happen, but that doesn't mean you keep it away from Will. You know what I mean? Like, I think you be part of that conversation, and now because you hit it, you got kicked out of that conversation by excluding Will from being part of his father. I don't know. It's a big kind of it's a really big mess.
The issue is with Will already having the gun charge and having to move to LA and already being in those type of troubles. You kind of want to isolate him and shelter him from all these issues. You know, and it's hard as a parent or as a guardian or someone who loves, you know, someone who's going through something, to be there and know exactly the right move. I'm not saying that the Phil was wrong for doing what he was wrong. He was wrong for not owning up to saying, you know, I probably should have brought you in. You make a decision, as he said, as a man, you make a decision and you live with that decision, right? And you own up to your mistakes. Once again, another person who should have listened to his own thing and say, all right, I have to own up to my mistakes. I made a mistake. This is what should have happened.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I was gonna say, that I was really hoping like this was gonna mend it.
Carlton's the one that did it again. Again, the person who told, you know, hey, Dad, you need to go fix that. Why are you sitting there hiding? I'm calling you out on your BS.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I mean, it kind of makes sense because how season 1 ended, he's kind of learning, you know, that, you know, stop not being a brat, you know, and he's like looking at relationships, how important relationships are, you know, especially for him. You know, it's like I need you to be cool with each other so I can be cool with all of you and we can all just be cool together. You know, it's like he needs that in his life, but also he needs to make sure, you know, everyone else is kind of has that good relationship.
Anxiety problem. So of course the first thing he wants is everyone to be okay. You know, so he can't handle all that negativity at the same time. So he needs that. So of course it pushes he wants to push everyone to be okay, be happy, but that's necessarily what's going to happen. And I think that's what we're going to see the rest of the season. I do want to touch on a couple things. So Ashley, it was her 13th birthday, which is cool. So now she's a teenager, and now she's going to be a pain in the ass to everybody. We all know that, right? But the fact that the original Ashley, Tatiana Ali, is her teacher in her school is very cool. And I think that's going to be a very big plot point to bring Ashley to the forefront, because she was really a side character before. This is going to push her forward. And I hope that they do a good job with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Even they set up drama with her character like really quick. I was like, damn, you're not even waiting for a second scene. You're just like, boom, like, well, I guess that technically was the second scene of her. But yeah, I mean, they introduced her, which was great. You know, like that voice is still like, she sounds exactly the same.
Like literally, I would have married Tatiana Ali if I had a chance. Like, come on. I was like, man, Tevin Campbell, like, how you get to sing to her? That don't make any sense. You don't even like whatever. That don't make any sense.
Yeah, but I was surprised it seems like they're gonna really put her in the season. You know, not just like a one-off kind of thing. You know, like oh, she's going to have not a major role, but she's gonna have a small kind of role, especially with Ashley directly. You know, it seems like
felt very Wednesday-ish.
How so? Like,
because the original Wednesday was a part of the show.
I got you like that.
You're giving her a different character, but you still become part of the show. And at the end, she's going to be a major part of the show to push Ashley to be who she really needs to be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly what Xavier's like. Yeah. Now Ashley will finally get some character development this season because she's now a teenager and she's starting to develop as a young girl going to become a woman. You know, but they got to do that right. You have to do it right.
Yeah. It started a little last year, you know, but I think this year, I think very little. Yeah, very little. But I think this year, she's really going to like have her own voice, you know, because you already know what the other kids are and how they feel about things. And obviously she's younger than pretty much almost, she is younger out of everyone, but you know, but out of even her older sister, you know, she's like way different, you know, because you think of I'm drawing a brain fart. Hillary, and like she's techie and all this, but then it was like, you know, Ashley is like a whole nother different level of being social media like stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know, because then you get a whole nother. I think she's gonna be very,
different generation. She has her other issues, her sex issues that she has to deal with. You know, she has to come to understand who she is. That's you know, it's just different for her. So it is hard, and it's things that are relevant today, and that's why I think her development is necessary, because it really explores. It gives someone of this generation someone to explore with them.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch this show and kind of connect with everybody. You're like maybe like, you know, early 20s got it, you know, late teens got it, you know, like early teens got it, you know, like married couple got it, you know, it's like parents. It's every level that you can kind of connect with one of these characters. So I really do like that what they're trying to. I think what I think they're going to do with Ashley going forward. You know, so that's pretty cool.
What about Jazz? So, you know, Jazz and Hillary are definitely a thing, and Hillary realizes that Jazz is a special guy because now her friend likes him. Of course, just like a little snotty girl, you know. Your friend likes you. Now, no, that's my man. What, you didn't want to claim him 5 minutes ago, lady? But of course, Jazz is like, you know, I'm all for it. And then you know what's going to happen. I know in the future she's going to want to go hyperspeed. And Jazz is like, why can't we just step by step? You know, why are you trying to go into hyperspeed? And, you know, by the end of season 2, she's going to be talking about getting married. He's going to be like, dog, can we just kiss a little bit? Can we figure out some other stuff? You know, so I think that's going to be interesting development in itself. And then, do you feel sorry for Lisa?
Not a little bit, but not really. I mean, I feel sorry for, like, sad for her, you know, because of the heartbreak she has to go through. But also, I don't feel too sad for her because the way season 1 ended was there was just a lot of issues, I guess, you know, between the three of them. You know, like, I mean, granted, Carlton pulled himself out of that love triangle, but by then the damage was already done. So, you know, and then the lying and stuff like that. I just feel like it's probably best for Lisa to maybe not move on, but be on the side for a little while.
I think that she's going to become a problem. Though Carlton's going to have anxiety issues, I think she's going to have major depression issues, and that's going to be another plot point within this series. Because, you know, you want to hit all the plot points that people are talking, you know, that people deal with. Major depression is a major development, especially, you know, in the generations now. Everyone is dealing with that, you know. So having a character that is dealing with those things is going to be huge. And now they introduce Jackie.
That blew my mind. I was like, "What? That was fast." I'm like, "We're still talking about Lisa, and you bring in Jackie like right away." I was like, "Damn." At first I'm like, who's that going to be? They're not going to make it somebody. And then like, wow, okay. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I think with Jackie coming into the picture, it's really going to mess with Lisa. The depression thing might be interesting because it might flip, you know, it might flip where she always took care of Carlton, you know, and got aggravated. Yeah. And now it might flip where he's like, she might want to come back to him and she's starting to get problems. And he's like, whoa, you got to handle your stuff. You know, but he's not going to leave her high and dry. I don't think.
I don't know if he's going to want to go back to be with him, but he could be the voice of reason, the one. And you know, so we saw in upcoming episodes, it said you see Will and Carlton start to have butt heads, right?
Yeah.
But that could be the thing. Once again, Carlton could still be the good guy, saying you need to stop rubbing rubbing Lisa's face in it all the time. She's going through something. You need to recognize that and recognize her and take care of her as a person. This person you used to like, or someone that you have had relationships with, you know, you need to take care of that instead of trying to rub your face in it. And he just kind of just blows them off and says, "I know better," because that's what Will thinks he knows everything.
Yeah, and he did that in this episode too to Lisa. You know, like he was having an actual conversation, important conversation, and some dude came in. He's like, "Hey, look at my shoes," and then that was it. Like he left her so quick, and that might be a thing. That might be a thing to happen.
Big thing with him, and I think that could be what can really push them, push a wedge in between them, because Carlton's trying to get him, and Carlton's definitely gonna have to deal with his anxiety stuff, because those other guys are not going to keep that quiet. So as he becomes more of an activist, they're going to bring out all the stuff that he's dealt with, and they have proof of all of it. So all that's going to come out too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But of course we gotta have some problems. It's a drama for a reason.
It's a drama, so you got to have some love triangle and some love issues. But yeah, Xavier said Lisa could be sidelined for a romantic situation with Jackie. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. But I think Brian's right with saying Lisa's gonna have a whole lot of issues, and I think it's gonna affect Carlton. I think it's gonna be more connected to Carlton, and it's gonna come back to Will. So that triangle's still there. Even after season 1, it comes back, and it's just a different kind of love triangle. It's not like romantic
because I think Carlton's he has his girl. He sees the person that's perfect for him. We see her, and she's going to open him up and make him better, and which is going to be really good to see someone who makes them better. But this is going to be interesting. I want to know, what do you think is going to happen in the future, like for you, Tank?
I watched the trailer, like the preview of what's coming up like next, and that got me pretty hyped. I'm like, okay, like it was really quick and a lot of really short parts, but it looked like they're gonna get into some really drama shit again, which is understandable. That's what the show is. But it looks like it's gonna be a fun season again. But like what I kind of want, I really want Will to. It looks like him and Phil are gonna still butt heads a lot. At one point, he needs to learn that Phil is trying to do the best for Will and not against Will. And I think that's again going to be the biggest problem. So I hope by the end of the season he finally realizes, because Fresh Prince, he realized that too. In that show, it was like, oh, Uncle Phil isn't here to punish me. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It was Avery. What was his name?
James Avery. James Avery, the coolest dude. The most awesome.
One of the best fathers on TV ever. Just so good. But this Will Smith needs to learn that Uncle Phil isn't out for him. He's out to help him. He's trying to help him. But
this Will Smith super hard. Like he's that dude that has to be at the bottom in order to learn. He cannot learn from listening to anyone. He has to be always at the bottom to learn.
Yeah. But the problem with that is you can only be there so much, and then
besides you are living in the bottom, where you are.
Well, yeah, but also you're gonna start biting all the hands that feed you, and then there's not gonna be a hand that's gonna reach down for you to pull you up. That's gonna be the problem, And I'm afraid that show might go. This show might go there. He might burn all the bridges and go down a path, and there's no Jazz, there's no Carlton, there's no Lisa, there's no nobody, and it's like, then what? Then what happens?
It's gonna be like, I can see a rainy scene, and Will sitting there like, I lost everything and everyone, and all it is him, and then you turn around and you see Uncle Phil, and the last man.
That's good. That's good, man.
It's still there,
That was pretty good.
So I can see that though, but him going and just ruining his life, and the only person that's still there in his corner, no matter what, I'm still here.
Yeah,
Jeffrey, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Yeah. That I can see that, but I don't know. This show got some legs though. I can see it going on for a few seasons. Yeah,
I can see 3 or 4. I could go 3 or 4.
Yeah, I could see a good 3, potentially 4.
All right, so Brandon, since you didn't see this one, what would you like to see in this season?
Well, I think without seeing this new episode, there's no way I can really answer that at this point.
But would you like to see, what would you like to see Carlton do? Would you like to see him become more of himself, or do you want to see him regress, or do you want to see him go through another valley in order to get to a peak, to become?
Oh no, I definitely don't want to see him regress. I'd like to see him kind of go on an upward trajectory, which I think may or may not happen, just because, like I said, the show does seem to be kind of emphasizing that gray area.
Mm.
So I'd be surprised if he is on an upward trajectory. I'd be surprised if he remains going on it, just for the sake of drama, especially with the show being so drama heavy.
Yeah.
So I think that, just like you guys said, Will needs to stop being so hard-headed. Or even just to quote not another teen movies, not just to quote not another teen movie, stop being such a little bitch.
Hey, that's exactly what it is. And someone needs to say it to his face.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, he's a punk. He really is.
But he's charismatic, and that's what you see.
He's a charismatic punk for sure.
That's the worst. That's the worst kind.
Yeah.
It's the worst kind, because the guy who gets everyone to love him and everyone enjoys being around him, and he's got the good smile, and I have a great character. It looks like I got this great character, and people want to be around me because I exclude this wonderful feelings and this confidence and this brashness. And when you have that, a lot of times you don't take humility. You don't understand, that sometimes it's good to be humble.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard, but I agree. I agree with everything you said, except for I want Uncle Phil to get some humility too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I want Phil to go to Jeffrey.
It needs to happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that needs to happen, because we need Jeffrey back in the house.
Yeah,
he needs to be back in the house.
Yeah,
I think everything falls apart. At some point in time, everything falls apart, and Phil goes to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey fixes it, and Jeffrey's about to walk out the door, and Phil says, "I could never do this without you. I need you around. Can you please? Can we figure out this thing?" And by this end of this season, I think Jeffrey's back in the house somehow.
I hope so. Because it's kind of hard to have his character like be part of the family, and so in turn be part of the show. Like, I like how they brought him in now, and he's already apologized pretty much. So now it's on Phil.
It is. Phil. Hey Tony, I gotta agree with you, man. The women in this show, god damn, dude, I gotta agree. I mean, I was like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah,
said it all.
I can see it. Xavier got this. Anything that brings Jeffrey back into the fold is fine with me. He needs to be. I don't think they're not strong enough without him. He is their strength. He is their balance. He's the one who balances all this stuff out. And he's the one that makes Phil formidable, because Phil is able to be the good side, and then Jeffrey could be the bad side, and the strong. Yeah. He could be he's the right hand. He's the fist. Like, you could be this nice glad hand, and I'm going to shake your hand, but I'm the fist behind it that makes it powerful. And I'm hoping that we get that.
Yeah. I like him.
Anything else you guys got? You got anything else?
Well, real quick, on Rotten Tomatoes, they already got season 2 going so far. It's only 6 critics, but it's at 83%. So not too bad.
Yeah.
It was a good first season, or first episode of the season, but it did feel like this was tying the bow on season 1.
Exactly.
And now we're gonna get into all the new stuff of season 2 going forward.
Do y'all think the baddie with the dog is Will's new love interest? Her name is Jackie. You know who she is. That's Jackie. You're gonna have lots of problems with her and Phil and Will, and she's gonna drag him down, and Will's gonna be something else. He's just gonna be something else.
You think they're gonna make her know how to play basketball like in the original? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if she's gonna be like that Jackie is being, but I think she will know basketball, and I think she's gonna be connected to the dude.
Yeah.
Hey, Dirty Vegas says, Will needs to swallow his pride and go back and live in that comfy ass mansion. What's wrong with you? Hell yeah, you need to feel like, what's taking you so long, man? How dare you love me that much?
Yeah,
I don't live on the streets. Right,
you want to help me? I can make my own money. Yeah,
I got $700.
Well, I like how he's like, I know how to take care of myself. Hey, can you drive me to that expensive private school? It's like, okay.
All you gotta do is give him a bill. All right, here, pay for that. You ain't gotta pay rent. What are you talking about? You know how to pay for yourself. You know what they need to do? They need to do a Cosby Show episode with Theo. But they took all his furniture out the way and they took all his money and said, all right, how much can you really afford to live on your own? Idiot.
Yeah, especially in LA right now.
So rent's $5,000 for this room.
Yeah. I was like, how much did he give Carlton? Like what, 100?
So he gave him, he folded, so it's probably,
I mean, he gave him a lot of money. Yeah, okay.
$1,200.
Yeah, because he's getting a lot. He's like, what's the?
Because they're rich.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is Friday, Monday money.
I'm gonna have Friday night. This.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like it so far, man. Good, it's good. I think it tied everything up. It's gonna start a lot of new stuff, a lot of issues. It kind of hinted at some of them already, so I like it. It didn't spoil anything, but it hints at what some of the stuff we're gonna get for sure, which I like. So,
yeah, she's the character that Tyra Banks played. Yes, that's exactly.
Oh, that's right. Tyra Banks did play Jackie.
Holy crap! Yeah.
I completely forgot Tyra.
There's no point in the '90s that I forgot anything about Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks.
That's Tyra Banks, fool. Man, come on.
That was Tyra Banks, fool. Remember that commercial?
Nothing about Tyra Banks. I know every episode she was in.
That's funny. But I like it, man. This is definitely gonna be our replacement for
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Going forward, because Bad Batch, we'll probably finish up. We'll do a last talk towards the end once stuff happens.
Damn, my back keeps itching.
I think you were saying about Bad Batch. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do Bel-Air. This is gonna be the show, I think, going forward for the next probably 10 episodes. How many episodes?
I'm gonna guess they're 10.
10. Yeah, 10. Yeah. February. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to catch up. And it's a really quick and easy watch. That's like one of the one of the good things about it.
The only problem is we do this show live on Thursdays, and Bel-Air releases on Thursdays.
Yeah, so you have to find some time during the day, lunch period,
so watch it before the show. Yeah.
But Mandalorian coming out, guys. This is gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be an interesting Thursday show.
Yeah, it's gonna be two heavy hitters. But yeah,
it's gonna be fun. I feel like this is gonna be fun. I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about, and I hope we get a lot more comments. Because I love to hear what everyone else thinks about this stuff. Because this is going to take it through a loop. This is gonna be like a roller coaster.
Yeah, that first season was for sure.
Oh, goodness.
For sure, that first season was. So. But just for reference, season 1 got 65% on the tomato meter and then 70% audience score for the entire season 1. So already we're off to a pretty good start with it.
I think people now know what it is, and they realize that when you give it some space, you're like, oh, this was actually pretty good. They didn't give any disrespect to The Fresh Prince, which is one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And when you sit back, you can say that, you say, all right, I can respect what they're doing. And if you don't like it, you might get slapped. Don't tell Will Smith. Too soon?
Yeah.
Too soon?
Nah. That's forever. It's a forever joke.
Yeah, keep Will Smith's show out your mouth. What?
But, yeah, man. I like it. You want to close it up?
Just as I said, you guys, if you're watching this later, please, comment. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know what direction you think they're going to go in. If you like the video, please hit the like button and hit subscribe. We are at right now 739 subscribers. We are on our way to 1,000. We're trying to get there by the beginning of the summer is really our goal. So it really takes it takes you guys, we'll put out as much content as we can. We'll talk about things you guys want to talk about. Leave in the comments something you want us to talk about. We'll love to do that. So please do that. We're going to go on to another topic, but we will see you guys later.